Hello guys. So today I wanted to talk about what would happen if some group of thugs tried to play the knockout game with me. Because I cheat when they play that game with me. That's right. This here is the Cold Steel XL Voyager with a blade length of 5.5 inches. And I don't know what the overall length, the handle length is, but I know it's pretty big. Alright, so where should I begin this amazing review? First of all, I guess I should talk about how sharp it is. Right here, see, you have this paper. Goes straight through it, real easy. Some slip-ups here, but oh well. Makes pretty easy work of this piece of paper. Oh. Those paper shards out of here. What else can it cut? Well, let's see the box it came in right here. Let's see how well it does on this. Straight through it. Alright. Don't want to cut too much cardboard, it'll make it dull. What else can it do? Alright, we'll take this box right here. I'll practice slashing it. I'm at a weird angle. Test how much power it has. I've got to do better than that. Oh well. There we are, and let's do this. Thin plastic. Let's see how well it fares against this right here. Oh wow. This is pretty sharp, as you can see. Yep, not want to mess with the blade like this. Yeah, and it's still pretty razor sharp. So, yep, the blade is sharp. Let's get on to more things about this knife. Maybe I'll point this down here where you can all see it. The handle is incredibly grippy. This Grivery handle right here, just your hand is not going to slip out of it. Now there's going to be a lot of people who say it's too grippy and it hurts my hand or it makes my hand sore, and I totally understand that, but me personally, I don't think so at all. One of the things I do think they could have done better would probably have been add jimping up here. You have those little lines there, but it's not quite the same as proper jimping. Now, with how grippy this is and the finger troils there, I mean, there's no way it's gonna slip out of your hand when you're thrusting or stabbing someone, but I mean, it does help, because when you do a stab, and if you have extra jimping, extra grip, it'll help to direct the blade into the target more, if you see what I'm saying, rather than just having this finger slip around like that. It'll help you direct it straight through. So that's one thing about the handle. Another thing on the handle is, and I really like, is the fact that they made it really grippy, but they made it really smooth around where, like, the troils there and on the bottom edge, so that makes it feel nice and comfortable as well as grippy. I just love the way it feels. It's really long too, so you can hold it in different directions. So say I can hold it right up here. I mean, I could grip like this. Most people would probably do it like this, but then you could go back to here, back on it, and then you could go back to just 2 fingers on there, and despite that, you still have pretty good, decent grip in all these positions, because, I mean, it's so ergonomic. It just fits right into your hand, and it doesn't want to come out no matter where you grip it. I personally, if I was fighting a gang of thugs, I'd probably go right back here. So it's a nice balance between, like, the slash, the thrust is good there. And personally, probably wouldn't go back here although you could, and it does get you a lot more reach, and that's going to be really beneficial if you're in some kind of a fight. You know, you definitely want that reach. What else about the handle? If you wanted, which I don't know why you'd want to do this, but if you wanted, you could get two hands on this and swing it. If for some reason you just needed a lot of power, but you mean, I don't, yeah, I don't really think it's the best idea ever. Right here we have this point on the Grivery handle. This could definitely be used to hit someone in the head and target pressure points and hurt. It hurt someone a lot, or possibly even like kill someone if you absolutely had to. This might break if you try to like break glass with it though, so I wouldn't recommend, you know, hitting anything really hard with it unless you absolutely had to and you had no other option or you're fighting someone. What else should I say about this? The blade. Yeah, the blade is made of AUS-8 steel, or AUS-8A, something like that, and is stone washed, which is pretty good. I don't really know much about stone wash finishes, but you know, whatever. I mean, it looks pretty nice, and again, because it's darker than a mirror polish, it'll help to conceal it a lot better, which is a big issue when you have a knife this large, because it's not legal in a lot of areas. Very sharp. I went with the clip point. You can also get it in Tanto as well as Voyager, something like that, and I'm not real sure how it's pronounced. But this is the one I went with because I figured this would be the most versatile. It has a really, really sharp tip for thrusting as well as a nice belly. I figured the Vaquero would, in a tactical situation, although it could slash very well, I figured it would probably mostly be good for getting someone just in the arm, whereas this, you can start here and just sort of slash the whole way easier, like on someone's forehead or whatnot. This is definitely, you know, in my opinion, the good choice. And then the Tanto I figured would be the best for hard use. With this I figured, you know, best for all around, and if I was going to fight off looters or thugs with something, this would be it. And again, with its really big size, 5.5 inch long blade, huge handle, this is definitely a tactical knife. We'll go to the strength. Strength of this knife obviously is excellent. Well, obviously not as good as like a strong fixed blade, probably better than like a really cheap fixed blade, however. But you mean it has heat treated aluminum liners, which that adds some weight, but it adds a lot of strength, which is really good with the Grivery handle over that. So this is not likely to break there. The blade isn't too terribly thick, but you mean it's decently thick, and steel is steel, so I don't think it's going to break. However, that end right there, that point is very sharp and very fine. So although you can do fine work and you can penetrate soft tissue really easy, definitely not a pry bar, definitely not a hard use thing, definitely not something you want to stab into wood with. Although it would probably survive that, I wouldn't do it anyway. Yeah. You know, obviously this is featuring the triad lock. So let's see. Basically how the triad lock works is there's a stop pin in here, and it's pretty much just like any other regular lockback, but with the stop pin. And see that groove right there? That groove is meant to fit the stop pin, so when this snaps shut and you hear that click, it's in there good, and it wraps around that stop pin, and that's going to make it so that this can take a ton of force that way and that way. Now keep in mind, it may not take as much force like this. Alright, so you got to be really careful. Again, this is not like a fixed blade. In a pinch, yes, you can baton with this and it'll work, but make absolutely sure the force is going straight up and straight down only. Alright, that's an important thing to remember. Again, if you want to go out in the woods and survive, you're probably best off getting a fixed blade over this. I just have this because, you know, I figure it's the best folder if I want to like use it in emergency self-defense, a best last ditch, and obviously I can't just carry like a huge fixed blade around everywhere I go. So this is a good option. And again, in a pinch, you could baton with this, and it would probably be all right. You know. So yeah, the triad lock, though, obviously is very strong. They have tested it on cold steel. They have put over 120 pounds on it, and it survived. So it's definitely a great and reliable option. And you mean, if I could have any knife on the market to defend me in a situation like people playing the quote-unquote knockout game, this thing right here, if I flick this huge blade open, because you mean, it's heavy and it can be slow, but if I flick it open, it comes out with a lot of force. And I mean, it's big. The sheer intimidation is going to stop them from getting at me, pretty much. Now, one thing about the huge blade, huge lockup, is the fact that it's hard to get out. You mean, with a little knife like this, the advantage is some looters come, I can quickly pull it out and, quickly, flick it, make my move. Pull it in my pocket, flick, make my move, get out of there quickly. This, however, I could probably do that, but not as easily. It would take less long for me to pull out. It is tip up instead of tip down, which I'm mostly used to tip down. But, I should get used to that. So I gotta pull it out, I gotta flip it around, and then I take the thumb stud, which is kind of a little thumb stud for this huge blade, and if I get it, it'll come flying out. But if not, it might be a little hard. And of course, just that sheer sound is an intimidation to anyone who wants to mug you. But yeah, flick it out. But there is a lot of times when you might not get it, especially if you're under a lot of pressure. So you might do this sort of a thing, and it has a powerful spring holding it in, and it needs that, because if it doesn't have it, then such a huge blade would come open in your pocket. And by the way, you can actually, and I've gotten this to flick out without using my thumb before, just sheer force. There we go. See? Obviously, I don't have very freedom of movement when I'm sitting down at the laptop in front of me, but I got it out. So yeah, it is basically a lock back, only with the stop pin making it a triad lock. What else should I note? This pocket clip. A lot of people think that this pocket clip is going to be too small, but to me, it's great, because you don't really need a huge pocket clip. A lot of it is in your pocket, so it's not going to fall out. And it's really tight and dense as it is. A lot of people would say that this might tear up your pants or whatever, so I don't think that it needs a very large clip. I think this is perfect. It is out. It's not really a quote-unquote concealed carry thing, and they kind of need more of it to be out in order for you to get this huge thing out easier. But honestly, it's black. The stone-washed blade doesn't really reflect a lot of light. Odds are, if you wear it against, like, say, dark-colored pants, dark-colored blue jeans, black jeans, or if you just wear a shirt under it, or if you're just, like, in a shadowy area, your shadow's casting over it, they're not gonna, odds are no one's gonna notice. And then, odds are, again, if you wear a shirt over it, no one can see it. And despite its huge size, I can actually put this in my pocket and forget it's there. So, again, concealment's an important issue when you have a blade this huge, because it's not legal anymore. Those stupid laws they make up. Anyways. But, yeah, I'm running out of time here, so that's one thing. It comes with another clip unless you want to carry left-handed. However, you cannot carry tip down unless you don't want to use the pocket clip. So yeah, that is one good thing. It does come in with another clip just in case. Overall, it's just a great knife. I spent like $56 total on this. You could probably get it for less. You can probably get it for about $45, is as low as I've seen it. So, highly recommended. Anywhere. You pull this out, a bunch of thugs try to beat you up. You swing, you hit one person. Odds are they're not going to stop. They're probably going to stop as soon as they see you pull this out. it's a big, intimidating knife. Thanks for watching, and Auf Wiedersehen.